Welcome in. It is coloring time. We are in Johanna Basford's Worlds of, oh my goodness gracious, Magical Worlds. And we did the top row in Brute Pruner Squares. Tried to do live this week again. One time I was able to get the live to kind of work and then it faltered. YouTube just makes it really complicated and difficult. So we're just going to go with a tape, not a tape, but a video. At any rate, so this row is going to be done in the new pencils that Ohuhu came out with. I think it's been probably about 2, maybe 3 months ago. And then I thought I would do the third row when we get there, do those in the Couleur. Good budget pencils, a little bit for everybody. Again, guys, I'm not a professional colorist. I don't even play one on YouTube, even though I am on YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I found my swatches, so I was very happy about that because I thought, oh no, I didn't want to lose those. So we're going to dive right in. This was for the frog. I'm going to put that off to the side. No, because I'll lose it. We'll put it back behind here. Whoops. Okay, so I hope you guys are all doing well. And we're just going to dive right in to, oh my goodness, me and moths and butterflies. You would think I could get that right, and I don't. But I think I want it to be moody. So I think we're going to do... Let me set my, sorry about my reach, my big old arm in there. Get the pencil set, and I still do not have them labeled, but hopefully the lighting is not as reflective. So, okay, so I'm going to pull black just because I know I'm going to want it for the moodiness. And then I think 90. I want to go with that one. I really love that color. I can see myself getting through there. Now, I did notice this. Look what happened. I've not colored with these, but once, and it chipped. I was like, oh, that's a bummer. So I guess you got to be a little cautious with them. I'm not even sure how or when it happened. I just opened it up and boom, it was that way. I was like, oh, well, boo-hoo. I'm so sad. I think I want it to be blue, but I'm going to see. Do they have a deep? Oh, they don't have a deep blue. Okay. Which means we're going to have to be creative. That's not something that I tend to do well at. Okay, it looks like the deepest blue is 173. Okay, so 173. Let me see if I can find 173 quickly. Yeah, 173. I really do need to 176. I really need to take the time to get my pencils kind of in line. You know what? I kind of liked that color. What color was that? 157. 157 is cobalt. Okay, cobalt. I'll do cobalt because I can't find my 173 fast enough. Yeah, okay. Can't. 157. I'll darken with the gray or the black. And then 325. Let's see what 320, let's see if I can find 325. Yeah, 325, and that is a super, super light. 174. I will say I love this pencil set because of this. So they have the really light blue, and then I'm going to bring this tray over. Let's see if I can keep all of my pencils like... Now, I do think I knocked some of them out of line, but this is what I love about this pencil set, is that they have like a light, almost kind of like a fleshy color, a light pink, a light orange, a light purple, a light yellow, and then into the light grays. So it helps when you're doing like a three-toned effect where you go light, medium, and dark. And I've never seen a set have that many colors, or at least it's not been set up so I can see it. Maybe that's kind of what it is. All right, so that's going to get us our butterflies or our butterfly for the moment. So I am going to shift this. I do like this pencil set, though I know some of you like to have your pencils, the lid. I like my lid to be separated because I like to stack them on top so that I can pull my page over. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down. Let's see if this will get us close enough to where we can color. Maybe we'll even go one more. That way you can see everything a little better. Okay. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing great. We're going to do black, and all I'm going to do is just kind of do some highlighting on its little body. That's why I'm thinking this is a moth. I don't know. All right, and I'm just going to kind of hit these areas with the black, and I'm not doing it super hard, just hard enough that it looks black, not gray. But I want there to be a little depth of color because the blues in here aren't super deep. But I have really enjoyed these pencils. When I first did the review, I was just doing it off of kind of like a quick color. I don't even know if it was really a color, but off of the swatching. And I really liked them. Now that I've had a chance to color with them a little bit, I really like them. And I'm going to continue to say that they are kind of like a cross between a Prisma and a Poly. Not on the high grade side, but there's a little bit of blendability on this, and there's a hardness to them also. So this is number 90. And so that's why I think that's why I really like these, just because they're kind of like the best of both worlds. They are a great, in my opinion, I think they are a wonderful set for a beginner. Even for someone who's not a beginner, if let's say you're going to be traveling and you don't really want to take, your great pencils, these are great pencils. I'm one of those people, I don't necessarily put all of my pencils in cases, and I like them. I love when they come in tins. Oh, sorry, my bad. Those 157. I like when my pencils come in a good quality tin and a good quality insert. Some of them, the quality inserts are a little there, but I do appreciate when they are that way. And the reason being is, for me, storage, I like to stack them, and I can keep them in a smaller space. So that's the reason why I kind of like tins. But everybody's got their own personal preference. Neither is right, neither it's wrong. It just depends, where you live. And, for some people, you guys have like a complete dedicated room to your coloring, which is, oh my gosh, how fabulous is that to have? Some you have like literally this much space. That's all you get. For me, I have a little bit more than, I have a little bit more than a bread box, but I don't have as big as a castle. But I have a great space. Like all of you know, most of the time I'm coloring at night in my chair while we're just watching YouTube most of the time, or watching TV after we've had dinner. I'm assuming probably like most. I don't know if we're all that different. Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to go to the 325 seagull blue. And I'm just going to kind of layer on there a little bit more. Outside of that, oh, I said that I wasn't really going to do that much shopping this month. Best laid plans of mice and men. I found some great coloring books and they were on sale, and so I bought them. I know. And so I'm excited to show you those. That'll probably be sometime next week. And well, let's see, somebody asked, do I have my computer yet? No, I haven't even looked. Okay, let's see, will that show? 174. I guess I love to live dangerously because my computer's going to crash. And when it crashes, I'm going to be singing and crying the blues. Let's see, what else? They're really nothing. I mean, we have been just doing our life and just, oh, we finished taxes. That was last week. I think I already said that, but in case, so for you that don't live in the United States, our taxes were last week. You could file an extension, you could get a refund, or you could pay. We paid $157, but at least it's over and it's done with, and we are completed until next year. And so it's always so nice. Okay, it's not nice to have to pay taxes, but it is nice to have taxes done. I don't know of anybody that's like, yay, I love tax time. And if I ever ran across somebody like that, I'd probably run away from them because I'd be like, there's something seriously wrong with you. Okay. That's cute. It's not as, oh, I don't have my eraser with me. That's a bummer. Okay. But I do like the color. The color did deepen on that blue. And I tell you, Ohuhu, I sure appreciate them invest. I mean, obviously, we invest right back. We definitely invest back. But I love their colored pencils. And I started using some of their Ohuhu markers. I bought some about a month ago, little packages of them. And you know what? I've really, I mean, I appreciate the quality. Back to 174. I really appreciate that there's something that's a little bit more than a Crayola super tip, which I love my super tips. I think they work really well. Now on this, I am pushing down a little harder. When I do that, it's muddying up, but when I come up here to the top, I'm trying to go lightly without pushing the color up so that it stays real bright. I hope that makes sense. But I appreciate that you don't have to use a Copic marker, that you can, there's good colors, the bases are good. The nibs, I don't know that much. I just have 1 or 2 Copic markers there for skin. But I do appreciate the Ohuhu so far. I really am liking them. Same thing, I'm going a little harder in the dark section and then pulling a little bit over. I don't know if you can see the difference or not, but just kind of blending that out. And when it comes to the highlight, I'm just trying to do the highlight by itself. I'm not pulling that color up. I'm also not cleaning my tip. What's interesting is they tend not to get as dirty. Okay, they are a little bit dirty pencils as far as like their shavings and things like that. But after you sharpen them, they tend not to do too bad. But they don't pick up or they don't hold a lot of color the way other pencils do. So I don't clean them, or I'm finding I don't clean them as often, which is a bad habit. Because once you do pull your color one time, you'll be like, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. But there is a blendability with these that I really like. I mean, you can layer and blend they don't smush, but they do mingle. How about that? They will, I think for a budget pencil, they do great. Now we say budget pencil, these go anywhere, if you get them on sale, about 34-ish, all the way up to 45-ish dollars. And let's see, I forget what the set is. Hold on, let me look. I think it's 72. Yes, okay, so it's a 72 set. I think many of us in the coloring community are like, yes, do more, do more. And my guess is they will do more. They'll start to do more. They start off with what they can do and they build from there. And I have to be honest, I would buy the extension set because I am enjoying them. I like the hard of the pencil, but I also like their blendability. Okay, yay. Okay, and then, interesting. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for right now. Then I'm going to go back to the gray, which is 90. And very lightly, just ever so slightly, I'm just kind of swiping down. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, and then just a little bit of highlight over here and just kind of pulling it down. Super light, not a whole lot. And you know what? That works well. And you know what? The layout, the payment that you get on this, they lay very nicely. I have to say, I love the way that they lay down. Okay, so I'm just gonna stay super traditional. So I'm gonna do 125 for the stars, and I will probably do kind of a bright one also, which is 21. So 21 for the stars, and then flowers. What should we do? I've been doing purple so much. I'm trying to think. Should I do pink? Well, pink, purple. They're all about the same. So we'll do that. We'll go, oh, that's peach. Well, that is the pinkest peach I've ever seen. So we're going to go 114. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the light rose at 116. Oops. And then I'm going to go with the light, which is the blush. No, yeah, Beauty Blush, 323. 323, if you can see that. That'll give us the flowers. And then for the leaves, on this one, I am gonna go Happy Dark, which is the moss green 65. 65 with a highlight. Let's go bright, we'll go 64. 64. And then, on that one. So those will go there. And then there's just that little one. That's so weird. That's weird when they do that. Okay, so I'm gonna pick something a little different on that one. I'm gonna go 163, that's the dark green. That'll be for this. And I'll probably still pull in the yellow 64, whoops, the 64 in there. Okay, that'll get us to the next round. Sorry about that, I had to pull away from the microphone. Okay, so we're gonna start here. This is 163. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do just kind of the tips on each side. And get that done right like that. Perfect. Let's see, I forgot what I was talking about. My goodness, my brain like a sieve. I can't remember. Okay, perfect. And then I'll pull that through with 64. And it kind of pulls, not really. I may have to 65. Now Prisma would have cleared that space. They blend a little bit, but not totally. So we are going to help it just a little bit. So we'll bring it up just a little bit, just so it has a little bit of help in bridging through that gap. Gardening, it's still going. I shouldn't say gardening. I don't have a garden. Not anymore. I used to have a garden and a little bit of a, wouldn't say it was an orchard, but I had fruit trees. I don't do any of that anymore where we live. Okay, that's pretty. I like that. Okay, so this one had all three, so I'll show you those colors. So it was the dark green 63, then 65, and 64, and that was for this one right here. For these over here, I'm just going to remove the dark green, and I'm just going to stay with the moss, or the 65 and the 64, which is moss green and yellow green. Okay. But we are starting to warm up. The soil is starting to get warm. We've been having a little bit of rain, and so more weeds. Unbelievable the amount of weeds. There's so many weeds. But I did get one really large bed taken care of, so I was very grateful for that. And there's some outside stuff that's being taken care of as we speak. So hopefully next week I can, or later on this week, the beginning of next week, I can finish that out. Okay, can you see that? Okay, perfect. Then we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna push hard, not super hard, but enough to kind of push it around. It's gonna be close to this, but it's just not gonna be as dark on the ends. So it's like a kissing cousin. Okay, perfect. Okay, excellent. Oh, for world news today, I usually don't like to talk about news, but for those people out in the world, for those who are Catholics, I am terribly sorry to hear the passing of Pope Francis. I know that he had been out waving and saying hello and, you know, being around so many people yesterday with it being Easter. And I know that it came as a huge shock and just a horrible, horrible turn of events. But I just want you to know that, world, we're sorry to hear for the loss of him. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know what this is, but it's definitely not one of those. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go with this. We'll go with that. Okay. And then on to happier news. I don't know if any of you saw this on Facebook, but it seems like everybody has seen it, or I feel like everybody has seen it, or everybody should have seen it. There had been an earthquake down in San Diego, California, kind of my old stomping grounds, and earthquakes are not something that are uncommon down there. And did you guys see it where the elephants all gathered together to protect the little elephants? Oh, I tell you, elephants, they are amazing. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Forgot to show you this. So it's 114 peach. That's a strange peach to me. That definitely reads pink. That was 114. And then the medium color is light rose at the 116. And then the light color is going to be Beauty Blush 323. But it was very cool to see them all run to the herd to the middle, which was very interesting. And then all just circled around, like they just instinctively knew to circle around. I don't know if they thought it was a predator, like the pounding. Did they think there was predators coming or what? But it tickled me a little bit to be like, oh, you guys are so sweet. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the rest in pink also. I mean, I know they're not the same flower, but I think I'm just going to do them to be similar to them. It's hard to know what color I should do them. Again, life has been super, super quiet for us, which I'm grateful for. And then, okay, that was the dark one. I'm going to go back to the 323. And this time I'm going to pull from the outside in, not from, again, remember how, I don't know if you were here for the last one, you can kind of push your dark into your light if you want more dark and a little bit of light on top, but if you want more light, always go from your light to your dark. I know that seems like it would be intuitive, but sometimes it's not. It wasn't for me. But then again, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shack sometimes, so you might be a lot smarter than I was. Okay. Oh, I think that looks pretty. But I do like pink, so I'm taking the darkest color, which is the 114. And I'm just doing like the little stem, whatever that is. We'll do that. Okay. So that's pretty simple. It's super easy color. You could do just straight block coloring. You could even do more shadow shading. There are people that'll do backgrounds. Like they'll maybe do an oval here and they'll make it a daytime scene or a nighttime scene, which I think a nighttime scene could be really pretty in here. Maybe those deeper grays with a little bit of silver stars. I've seen people where they'll do a whole row and, maybe they do it pink, purple, and green, or if it's 4, like I'm getting ready to do one where I'm debating, do one row summer, spring, winter, and fall, or fall and winter. So you just pick whatever, whatever works the best for you. So I'm going to take the first one, which is the 21. And all I'm going to do is kind of just on the inside of the star, just give it like, well, that one's kind of tough to do. The little ones may be tough to do, but I'm going as close to the inside of the line of the stars because I do want it to have a glowy look. I don't know if I'm going to get that, but that's what I'm kind of shooting for. Okay, perfect. Let's see. And I left my notes over there. Oh, I was going to say, I'm going to do up a video. I've had a couple people ask me, they've emailed, they just kind of want to know, like, what does my space look like? And it's, oh, sorry, this one is the 125. And now I'm just going on the inside and going out just a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the picture, but it gives like a little deeper part inside the star. And I'm lightly pulling it to the tips. I I will do a video for it. It's not exciting. I don't know if anybody will actually watch it because it is not exciting at all. It's just a chair and a table and a trunk. And inside the trunk, all my stuff is shoved in there. But people want to see it, so I will do that and let them see that. Okay, perfect. Well, that is, you know what I think I'm going to do on that one. Okay. I was trying not to do too much glitter on this page because I know some people don't have glitter pens. So I would normally do that with a little bit of glitter, but I'm going to do that. Oh, so this is that 157. And now I just kind of lightly did it, and like up at these tips, I'm pushing down a little harder. Very soft, just a very light. Okay, I like that. Now this little round, I'm just going to outline it's not the circle, oval. And I think I am going to darken the lines just a little bit. I don't know if I want to use black so much, but I do want to darken that line. All right, and then I am going to fill that little hole right there. That's cute. Okay, I'm going to hit those highlights. Perfect. Now, I did not bring my blender, so when I'm off, I will blend that in with my blender. Oh, you know what? Last time we did this. Sorry, I turned away from my mic. Let me see. We did this last time, and it actually did work pretty nice, but we did it with the white. This could be a mistake. We'll see what happens. I'm going to blend with the light blush, which is 321. There we go, 321. I'm going to go ahead and push this down and blend this. Oh, that turned out nice. I wasn't sure if it was just going to be a muddy mess. Oh, I like that. See, sometimes when you try something different, you're like, hey, this isn't bad. I may even write that down as a color combination. I mean, it's only 3 colors. It's not much of a combination, but I could see this being good for rocks or grout, house. Okay, perfect. I like that. Okay, so that one was the 321. So that one is now complete. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. On tomorrow, we'll move over onto the little balloon with the whale. And as always, wishing you the sharpest of pencils, the brightest of markers. And remember, it's just paper. Enjoy your coloring time.